Oh, getting harder every time.
Wow.
Welcome to the Downturn podcast, episode 3. I'm here in the Drop of Ink with my co-host Chris Baker.
Hello.
He smells really good today. We've all been sniffing him. He smells great. I don't know what he's wearing. We've got a special. We've got a special guest. We've got a special guest. He is a beautiful man. He's a Scotsman. No more Southerners. We've got a Northerner
not a
this
face
time.
for radio, I'd say. Definitely not.
You know about me? He's a DJ. He's a DJ. Yeah, and he's a radio presenter for the BBC, introducing famous Christian Carlisle.
I got
How are you doing, bro?
double special in there. The
Double.
double special.
Yeah.
I'm
We've
very good.
made
gents.
it.
Thank you so much for having me on. Pleasure
All
to
right,
come
man.
down.
Yeah, we've been chilling out in the shop. You've had some ink.
There's some
Got
tattoos
some new
there.
ink. Yeah,
Some ink, yeah.
I've started. I'm not usually a very suspicious person, but I've started noticing magpies around a lot. Apparently, they are a sign of good fortune.
Yeah.
So I'm always doing the saluting the
Yeah,
magpies. So we got sorrow and joy today. They're very,
is it?
very nice. Thank you, Chris.
I got a minor on my driving test for saluting a magpie.
Sorry. What is it? One for
Sorrow.
One for sorrow, one
Two
for joy.
Three
for a girl, four for a boy. That's as far as I know. It gets quite convoluted the further you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So I think it was like folklore. Apparently, at one point, it was like they were harbingers of like bad luck, and to get rid of that bad luck, you had to salute the magpie.
Right,
But in some cultures, they are a sign of good fortune, and
And they're on you, so I'd say it's good fortune.
Love it. Yeah,
innit?
love it. Yeah, let's get into it. Why don't you introduce yourself, Christian, and give us a flavour
The
of
shoe is on the other foot.
what you do?
I
Yeah,
know.
we're not used to this because he's more comfortable in this
On
environment
the other
than
side
we are.
of the
So
microphone.
I'm just
yeah.
gonna let him do this whole thing,
I'll
basically.
fire away. So, I moved down to Doncaster, good old Costa del Donny,
Love it.
when I was 19, and jumped headlong into like the music community down there. There was Naff Hall where I used to live in Scotland. I used to live in this tiny little village that was population 200, 10 miles from the nearest shop. We had a bus that came every Thursday. You know, it was like proper remote.
I dream of that shit.
Oh, don't get
I
me wrong.
yearn-
It was
I
like
yearn for that.
when you're growing up and you're a little kid and everything,
Yeah,
it's
no shit
beautiful.
when you're
But
young, innit?
you hit like 15 and discover music and booze and parties, and it's like,
Yeah,
get me
yeah,
out
yeah.
of this place. So I moved out of Doncaster, and I love it down in Donny. There's plenty of opportunities to make stuff happen, and jumped headlong into all the music down here, and used to just go to like the alternative nights on a Tuesday. And I was there that often that the guy that ran it was like, do you want to come and just do the first hour's worth of DJing? And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not?
Brilliant.
So I went along, started doing the first hour's worth of DJing.
That's brave, that.
Yeah, it's just was like,
yeah.
if there's an opportunity there, say, just
And you never
jump
done,
straight
never
in.
done it like that before.
No,
that
I'd
was first.
never even thought about it before. And it was a similar position when it came to being on the radio. I'd gone down to a recording studio in Doncaster called Higher Rhythm, just to inquire about it and stuff and meet the people that were down there. And at the time they had this fledgling radio station called Sign FM. There was like 4 presenters. It was an internet broadcast radio station. It was one of those things that was like, you knew that nobody was listening, so you could just make all the mistakes. You know, like some people go off to uni for like 3 years and study journalism. I sat in a room with maybe my mum listening on radio, like just doing a terrible radio show for 3 years.
It's the
And I
best
did it
way,
as
that.
a volunteer, doing a new music show called Delta November. And the people there could see how passionate I was about just like showcasing new talent. So when the job at BBC Introducing came up, they actually put me forward for it. But this was like, I've been BBC Introducing for 15 years now. So it was before it was like, I mean, everybody knows what BBC Introducing is now. But when I first started, they had like one stage at Glastonbury and, one music show on like a network station. And that was pretty much it. It was in its very early, like fledgling stages. So to see it go from that to what it is now has been a really interesting journey, and to being part of that journey as well.
Yeah,
and
man.
being
You're the
part
John
of,
Peel.
Oh,
You're
dude, that is Do you know what? We used to name the uploader was named after him. It's called Peel from our side because like he did a lot for not just for those emerging artists but for music in general to like put it into the mainstream.
Yeah.
And to carry on a little bit of that legacy, I was talking to you guys earlier about the fact that like I'll be on BBC Sheffield and BBC Leeds playing the type of music, Downturn being a good example. You ain't going to hear anything like that across all of the rest of that platform for the rest of the week. There's 2 hours on a Thursday where you're going to hear some like specialist music. Being able to go onto those stations and play that type of music, it almost feels a little bit kind of rebellious at times. It's great.
It's almost like a tastemaker, or what they call it, if it were on TikTok or whatever it had been as a thing. But you sort of pushing out what you value. But 15 years of hearing that, you must have a really good, like, sort of like a fine wine then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to say what it is that I'm looking for. I get asked it a lot, like, people that are sending music introducing theirs, like, what is it you're looking for? And I'm like, I really can't put my finger on it. There's so many different factors. But if I'm being brutally honest, I know within about 10 to 15 seconds of listening to a track whether or not it is going to make the cut. You can make those identifying factors fairly quickly on. And if I don't play a track on BBC Introducing, I don't ever want anybody to get offended by the fact that I've not picked it. My main concern, right, is I want to make sure that it's ready. I don't want to present an audience with a half-baked cake and them to not like it because it's just sludge. You want them to have the fully formed finished product, and you're listening out for that more than anything else.
It could be different, but it's got to be good as well, and it's got to be well made.
I'll make exceptions sometimes in terms of like the production quality if like the song is absolutely brilliant, and likewise sometimes the song's maybe not quite there but it's been produced really well. But more than anything, you're waiting for that band to have that right, or that artist to have that moment where you're like, this is ready for a bigger audience now. This is ready to be pushed out. The last thing I want is to push something to a bigger audience and for people to turn around. Say you got like a band of 17-year-olds that have spent a long time in the studio recording a track that they love with their heart and soul, and I push it out too early and somebody just goes online and shits all over it. Like, that could be very damaging to them in those early stages. Or it could be very character building at the same time as well. But I'd much prefer to err on the side of, like, wait until it's right.
Awesome,
let's give it the platform
it's a cool responsibility.
Yeah.
And can you think of any that you've sort of seen go from a tiny track that you've played to them being bigger?
Yeah, there's a fair few that we've played, like...
I know the ratings, I saw that.
The ratings. Do you know what? I always say, like, when it comes to introducing, right, I never sing my praises too highly because I say a lot of the artists that I get through, without a shadow of a doubt, the people that I'm going to name now would have become the level that they are, regardless of whether or not I was there.
But it's take all the glory.
Would be nowhere without me. Nah, I know that they would have got there, but I like to hope that having played a small cog in the part of their machine in the early doors, it maybe helped boost their confidence a bit more, that they stuck it out a bit longer. The ratings success story has been unbelievable, and I think every emerging band should look at regardless of whether you like what they're doing music, everybody should look at what the ratings have done in terms of building a community. Because they are experts at what they have done there. And I always think as well, like Johnny, the lead singer, he's been at this for years. He really wanted it for a long time. And he always said, like, when he took his eye off that prize a little bit and just focused on that community, the people that he was playing music with, that's when things started to fall into place for him. On the other side of the music spectrum as well, like Self-Esteem, Rebecca, having done all those years in Slow Club and like kind of gained all of those experiences that she then went on to make Self-Esteem, and the level that she is at, like that woman's career trajectory is on to become like as big as Madonna. In the long term.
Dude, I absolutely love his passion. Do you? Honestly, I can see how much music matters, man.
Oh, man,
fucking
it's like I just want to be able to be there for those artists, and I know what it's like to have that self-doubt when you are at the beginning of a project that you feel in your heart is like the right thing to do, but you're utterly terrified about being vulnerable in front of an audience or being in front of the world at large. And I like being able to be there to be like, it's all right.
Just I'll
give you the platform. You just need to you bear it all, right?
Yeah.
And I'll put it out in front of people. And I always like to, when it comes to introducing, is like write a small review, if you will, about why I've picked the track. You can put a track on Spotify and it can start to get plays, but you never know why that track in particular got playlisted over the 7 that you put on before. You just don't know. There's no feedback or response. Fair enough, it might be a bit harder to get your music played on BBC Introducing. There's no guarantee of it, but if it does, I'm going to give you a reason why, like, right, I've picked this track because when I played it, this is how I felt. And I think that helps to really connect with
there's a lot of imposter syndrome in artists in
man.
general.
I remember the first time, like, because this is my first ever band, and the first time we got played, like, that was the first time I heard my own voice on the radio. Was just like, it's so weird. And I'm just like, you're just waiting for everybody to go like, shit. But like, and then people are going, that's mega, you know what I mean? It sounds great, and I'm like, who said I'm great or whatever? You just, and it's an ace feeling. You do have that like self-doubt at the beginning. Like, do people actually want to listen to this?
Yeah,
and then they do, and you're like, really? Cool. Like, you keep doing it.
You're saying about imposter syndrome. I think that's one of the most prevalent conditions across the entire music industry, to be honest. Even I get it sometimes. I'm sitting there thinking, like, is it
reassurance of it?
Yeah, even I sit there and I think, well, you know, ultimately this is just one person's opinion. What right do I have to be able to pick these tracks rather than those tracks or whatever? And that is a very difficult thing to navigate. So being able to, in my own small way, give that little bit of reassurance to people.
Yeah,
like
people need that.
I'm glad it connects. I'm glad it lands with people.
I think there was that story with John Peel where he heard Undertones, and he loved it. Teenage Kicks.
Yeah.
And then he loved it so much he played it again.
Yeah.
And it's the only person to ever
do a track back to back.
Yeah. Would you dare do that?
I've done it a couple of times. I have. There's been maybe 2 or 3 times in the entire time that I've been on radio that I've gone for, that was that good, I'm going to play it again.
Do you remember
that was good, man?
Oh, I remember the first one. He was a guy, he was called Alfie Connor. And he just made this really beautiful, chilled, serene, like, indie music. And it was so stunning. It was like a proper goosebumps moment.
You were feeling it in studio.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was just feeling, I hadn't intended on, it wasn't one of those pre-thought out things of I'm going to play it twice and, you know, make a big deal out of it. It was just like, nah, that was so good. Give me 2 seconds. I think I went silent while I was literally like moving it in the playlist
that
on the
feeling
computer.
Where you've got to like, I've got to show this to someone immediately because this can't just be me. Like, someone else has to experience it.
Those moments, right? You listen to the music. The good thing about the introducing is the fact that I like the fact that it breaks down a lot of those like economic barriers, especially.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter whether you are a bunch of working class kids off the estates.
Cup of music or whatever.
Yeah. It's like it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what type of music you're making. You can use the uploader. It's free at point of access, so it's open to absolutely everybody. So anybody can send music in. So we get loads and loads of tracks. The amount that we can actually play is criminally low because we only get 2 hours every week, and we do have to listen through to a lot of tracks. I will be perfectly honest with you that you're just like, oh God, that's not there.
Yeah.
Like this isn't the one. Yeah. But every now and again you get that one track that you're like, holy shit.
Banger.
Yeah.
You are stopped in your tracks. Like you wish you'd heard it for the first time on air, like playing it out to an audience, and you cannot wait for that moment when 8 o'clock strikes and you get to be in a studio and be like, check this out, because this is incredible.
That perspective where, what was that guy in that film that died on that bus?
Died on a bus?
Into the Wild?
Oh yes, yeah.
Happiness is only real when it's shared. Yeah. That's the last thing he wrote, I think, in his book or something. That's the point, innit? Like, you can have your own perspective on it, but then if me and you listen to it and you go, what do you think to that? And I go, fucking hell, that's mint. Now we're proper buzzing. And it creates that point of it being a real happiness.
Yeah.
That's fucking bit deep, I know.
Do you know what? I'm going to carry that on. My favourite quote about happiness, for the life of me, I can't remember who it was by, is this Scouse poet. This line was so simple, it stopped me and had me thinking for days. He said, happiness is a byproduct of authenticity. And that stuck with me so much, because when it comes to working in music, especially, the more authentic, the more true to yourself you can be, I think the chances of landing with an audience are infinitely higher.
Yeah, I think we've learned that very recently. Like, you try and be like, what do I need to be, you know, a metal band or whatever, but then you just step back and just be like, I'm just gonna be myself. And then we've been way like more successful and happier just doing that. And then we're like, we don't give a fuck if people like it. We're just, that's us. If you like it, wicked. Like, stay on board. If not, it's not for you.
I remember when I first started doing BBC Introducing, and it was just in Sheffield at the time, and I'd get like A&R from labels down in London come up to, you know, have a coffee with me and find out what was good and everything, and I'd sit down with them and talk through them, all of these cool, interesting, original new bands, and they'd just sit and they'd nod along and they'd be like, yeah. You got anything that sounds like Arctic Monkeys? And I'm like, dude, Arctic Monkeys sound like Arctic Monkeys. It's like, don't try and, you've hit the nail on the head there. It's like, don't spend too long thinking about what it is that you should be. Spend more time focusing on what it is that you are.
Well, that's the same with tattooing, though. You try and be an impression of something that you think is good, and you never get there. And then when I just draw things that I like, and I tattoo the way that I like, and people vibe with it more.
Yeah,
and you're just like, oh, I just need to be myself. People actually like that.
There's an insecurity in that that then gives it a value as well, because if you're bearing your soul in what you put yourself into, it has more value from it.
A little piece of you in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're always in a creative arc going to end up naturally picking little bits and pieces from whatever it is that influences you, and that is creativity at its core. That is entirely natural to do those things. You take all of those little bits and pieces and you make it into your own kind of personality.
Well, on that merit, has anyone inspired you as a presenter or a introducer? Or
oh, interesting.
Or would it be John Peel, I guess?
No, it was originally. So I was like, music, and Radio 1 in particular was one of my only outlets to the world, where I used to live up in this really remote part of Scotland. I had a subscription to Kerrang magazine, and I had Radio 1, and that was pretty much it at the time. And I used to listen to the wide variety of music that was on there. You know, I'd listen to everything from the charts right through until, you know, the stuff that Steve Lamacq was doing at the time. And although my presenting style is completely different, and there's not, you wouldn't ever make a comparison between what me and Lamo do, hearing him have the platform to be able to showcase the type of music that he did on the biggest music station in the world at the time was arguably one of the main reasons that I wanted to do what I do. And I definitely owe a lot to him for just being there and for all the hard work that he's done. Like, I don't think there's anybody, you could argue that many people in the UK have done more for music than what Steve Lamacq has done. And and I think especially in the early days of what he was doing, emerging into music, you know? And I think the platforms that he gave on that station where they played... I remember... do you know what? I remember I'd just been to Tea in the Park and I'd watched Snow Patrol headline on the Sunday. I love that band. Like, Final Straws, a brilliant album, right?
As well,
Love him. And I'd just watched Snow Patrol, and Lamo had played the highlights from Tea in the Park, and he played some of the Snow Patrol set, and I texted him in, and I was like, he'll never read it, and he read my text out, and I was buzzing. I was absolutely over the moon. I think there's still a real beauty in radio. I think a lot of people wrote it off in the same way that a lot of people wrote off vinyl when CDs started coming out, and I'm like, nah, there's still a lot of magic.
There's always
a
space for that place in radio, 100%.
Right, I'll get us onto his next segment.
Okay.
I've prepared a little game. I've realised I'm used to being the guy with the tash.
Okay.
And I think it's
an excellent tash, by the way. Please don't get it. I don't want you to feel insecure.
Giving him like a pat, like it's a good tash.
Thanks.
But that's a fantastic.
Great job, buddy.
I think I'm getting what the kids call nowadays, or would call tash mogged, by your absolute extravagance. I needed to mention it. I need to bring it up because it's all I can think about, and it's making me a bit insecure.
It is right in the middle of your faces, so it's hard to ignore.
It's fantastic. I seen a meme as well. Someone sent me a meme, and it was about mustaches, and I think it said, people with this type of mustache are either delightfully gay or evil in the way that few men on earth are. And I would argue that there's a third, and that is a musician or a creative. So it inspired a little game, and we're going to play. I've got some little cards here if you take one of these.
Okay.
The print quality is not too good, but you can still make it out.
Oh, shit.
We're going to play, is it a musician or is it a murderer?
Well.
And these will come up on screen, I should do. But
why do I feel like one of these is me that you've just ripped off?
Now, the first tier is easy mode.
Right, yeah, I see
The
what
bottom
you mean,
tier is a little bit trickier. We'll go one at a time, and we'll see if you can guess. Start with number 1, obviously, the numbered. See if you can guess who it is.
BBC presenter. He's a BBC presenter.
Yeah.
Right, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Number 1.
It's a
number
fun
1.
game.
Fucking hellfire.
Jesus, right, okay. I'm pretty sure.
What we're saying.
Can we
Well, I don't
concur
know.
on this?
That looks like.
Yeah,
that looks
discuss,
like. That looks
please.
like. It looks like Lemmy.
I'd say there's a mole there on the left.
Can you see?
I think
Oh
that's
yeah,
Lemmy.
right.
I think
Okay.
it's
I think
that's
that's a
Lemmy.
musician.
just looking for a mole. Correct.
Well, it's
Correct?
the-
Is it?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it Lemmy?
First one's the easy one. That's Lemmy Kilmister.
Are we going to put these on the screen?
We'll put these up on the
Right,
screen so you
okay.
can see.
Okay.
Well done. Number 2.
Number 2.
Oh,
That is
shit.
extravagant.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Now, is
he
that
looks like
Christian?
he's mid-song, so I'm gonna go with musician.
Can you
I don't
guess?
know. I
I've
think
got
he's
n- I
mid-kill.
wouldn't-
Or he could be mid-kill.
He could be in that like thrill of
There
the,
you go.
the
I'm
murder
going
right
kill.
there.
I'm going
That's,
kill.
that's pure ecstasy right there. It is a musician. Can you guess
Oh
the
shit.
musician?
No, I can't.
You might know this one, Chris. I don't think he's got the tash now, but he did have at one point. I'll give you a clue. You've had a cameo off him.
This is Justin Hawkins from
Justin
The
Hawkins.
Darkness.
Right
Well.
again. That's a good tash.
That is a good tash. That is a very strong
Simple.
On
tash.
the
Similar style.
cameo, he was naked on a bed and he was singing "Get Your Hands Off My Woman." It was the best cameo I've ever seen.
Ready for your
Standing.
birthday, so brilliant.
If you're gonna have Justin Hawkins cameo, like that's
was-
it.
that
You
was the
want him
one.
there.
Thank you to my
splayed out,
missus
like,
for that.
Paint me like one of your French girls. Absolutely.
That brings us to number 3.
I think that's you.
Me. My tash is better than that.
There's no nose ring. There's no nose ring though.
No.
I'm going to go
Now-
with that is the gormless gaping mouth of a murderer right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be, and the musician that it probably turns out to be is gonna be deeply offended. But there you go. Yeah, that's a murderer.
What we're saying?
Yeah, I'll agree. I think I can't think.
No.
It could be some. It could be an Eagles of Death Metal Queens at Stone Age style tash man.
This might surprise you. That is Matt Honeycutt from Kubla Khan.
Fucking hell.
Matt, I'm
Fucking
sorry.
It's a tricky
Nice
one
tash,
because
Matt.
that is an unflattering.
Nice tash, Matt.
Don't look
yeah.
like a murderer at all.
No.
That's
I
an
was joking.
unflattering picture.
I knew who it was. Yeah, I guess
These
It's a bit
are
tricky.
mugshotty though. They are in black and white.
Yeah,
So
the print quality is not great, but you can tell. Now the 4th one, I feel like it's a bit easier.
I think as far as murderers go,
Mm-hmm. Might be a trick
I think
question.
it's a trick question, right? Because I know
Okay.
Charlie Chaplin had songs, and
and there was only really 2 people that
So he-
sported that mustache at one point.
this is
So
what. So I think
maybe
he's
it's.
got.
Nah, I think
Must be
that's.
Chaplin.
No, I think that's.
That's
that's
the
the-
mouth that ain't kissed his mother on cheek. Good night, that
I
one.
think that's the chin of the painter. To be honest.
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
the guy.
Mm,
I think that's
that's the one.
Adolf.
That's old Eddie himself.
There
Yeah, right.
there-
All right.
Okay.
Easy mode. Let's go on to
these
are slightly trickier.
Yeah,
think
it's
that's
getting
Dimebag
difficult down the
Darrell.
bottom line there.
I think that's Dimebag on number 5.
Mm. What was saying, Christian?
I'm gonna. I'll go with musician as well. I wouldn't have a clue.
That there is Ed Kemper, the co-ed killer.
Shit.
He's getting into tricky mode now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Challenging territory.
Sorry, Dimebag.
Yeah. Sorry, Dimebag. This guy.
Shit.
This guy took off his mum's head and did stuff to it.
Number 5 did?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Did stuff to the neck.
Wild.
Wild.
Sort of weird looking at his mouth knowing
That's
that.
pretty metal. It's pretty metal. Number 6.
Yep. That's you.
It does look a bit like me, actually.
That's a murderer. What's his name? The
Mason.
the big lad who ate them.
Mason.
Oh, that guy
Me.
that
Ed Gain. Is it Ed? No, not Ed Gain. What am I thinking of? Oh God.
Dahmer.
The big fella.
Was it Dahmer?
No
Can't
spec.
think.
Dahmer ate people.
No,
He
I
wasn't
don't
a big
think it was
fella.
Dahmer that I'm thinking of. I think it was
John
like
Wayne was a big guy.
John Wayne Gacy. That's what.
Yeah.
Is it?
What were we saying? Lock him in.
I think it's you.
It does look like me, actually.
Where is it?
That there is the vocalist of Gate Creeper.
Shit. He's got a right tash.
And his name
right
is Chase Mason.
Wicked.
Chase Mason.
Chase Mason. Ironically, that is a game that I play when we go on tour and we're all in the Airbnb together.
Cheers, mate.
It's a little game that I like to play. Or in the sauna. Anyway,
I think
what's...
weirdly, to kind of fight my corner there, Chase Mason does sound a little bit serial killery. If I'm
to be fair, you'll probably see the picture on the screen. They all look pretty serial killery. In a cool way, I suppose.
cool way.
If there's a cool way. If there's a cool way. Next one's good.
Right.
I think that's a tough one.
That's a
Because
tough
that's
one.
so slap bang in the middle between that looks like the type of person that is a serial killer,
Yeah.
but also a bassist. You
yeah.
know, like
Yeah,
it's a double
In
life
like
sort of
Lynyrd
situation.
Skynyrd or something like
Like
that.
the reason he's on tour is so that he can kill people every time.
Or
You
so
know?
that he's busy enough not
shit.
to, idle hands and
If
all
you'd have
that.
put
Yeah,
Charles
yeah,
Manson on here, it'd have been both categories, actually.
Shit. Should have done that, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Trick question. That's the bonus. one. Yeah.
I think that's a musician, number 7.
Killer.
Oh.
Killer.
Yeah.
That is Andy Williams of Every Time I Die.
Yeah, it is.
The
Wow, I'm
wrestler.
not
The
doing too
wrestler.
well
The
here.
big
guy.
lad.
Yeah.
He's all neck.
He's
But
a
his
unit,
tash
that
is
lad.
absolutely wonderful.
Spectacular tash. Like.
But yeah, it does look... It was a tricky one, that. Brings us to number 8.
Oh, that's
one?
Escobar.
Weirdly, I got a bit of Freddie Mercury from that. But
Oh, yeah, that could be.
no, I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think musician. Can't think who, but there's a look of Freddie in there.
Yeah.
That straightness of the tash.
Probably made some good music, maybe.
I do.
He didn't know, did he? He killed
didn't,
pe-
did
he
he?
eat people? And he
I'm
didn't
going to
make
agree
good
with him, I
music,
thought.
That's Saddam Hussein.
Oh, fucking.
Well,
What's fucking point in that? What's fucking point in that?
Thanks
it
for
was,
playing.
it was a good game. We
Do
were
you
just
know-
Thanks
shit-
for
we were
playing.
just
Come
really
again.
bad.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
You know
Did
what,
you
though,
really
like,
try on that?
I've leaned into something there. It's hard to tell sometimes. If you
You're
just get the
right.
tash,
Yes, it were a good segment. I appreciate it,
and
but
that
we're going to
just-
review this.
That just,
It's gonna go to VAR.
and it just goes to show that
Yeah, we
meme.
need
That meme is
hydration
pretty
break,
spot
for
on.
fuck's sake.
Yeah, there was a tame version of that. If it didn't land, I think that's the one.
Yeah, that
That's the
that
one.
weren't
Happy with that.
cancelable. I
I like
don't
that.
think. I think we offended a few musicians, but
I
You know.
I
Gotta break a
definitely
few eggs.
cannot be hanging around backstage in the presence of Every Time I Die. But
I'd
apart
love
from
that.
yeah,
He'd love
I'd be
that.
right.
Sure.
yeah. There's I think we didn't offend anybody else.
No.
Gate Creeper,
Gate Creeper, yeah, sick.
fucking good band though.
You seen
They'll
them?
be alright.
I've not. No, good lad.
It's like death.
Yeah, very
death
good.
metal, isn't it?
Yeah. Horrible, low end, really cool.
Really.
It sounds like Partway, you said actually. Sound
yeah,
like
it's-
Winston.
he's got a sound of Winston. Ironically, I was going to say earlier when we were on about imposter syndrome, like when we first started and I started doing vocals for the first time, I just tried to sound like Winston the entire time.
Yeah.
And you quickly find out that's unobtainable.
yeah.
The man is a god. But yeah, he does sound quite a lot like him. If you listen to it, you're like, sounds like early Parkway.
Their live shows are ridiculous. Some of the footage, unreal. What they like, their level of production is.
All of a sudden, someone will go up there, and then someone's going up there, and you're like, "Fuck it!"
I love that though. Like, give me dinner and a show every time. Like, I like a bit of. I like a bit of theatre. I like a bit of drama, a bit of performance in it all as well. Yeah.
Speaking of dinner, imagine sitting down having dinner while watching. That'd be ace, wouldn't it?
It would. Well, so you get a table like they do at a turn on like a Wiki Men's where you've got a Gary Barlow impersonator, but instead it's a metal band.
Bit of cake,
and you have a 3-course meal.
Yeah,
it's fucking genius.
Flip the table at the end. Go wild.
You've been doing something similar, not similar, but like you've been doing your Let Loose.
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, we need
tell
to
us about that.
Yeah.
Started this one back in May, and it was kind of born out of last year. I'd started to get back into getting into the pits. I think you go through a phase where you're young and you're mental in the middle of the pits every single time, and you're there for the entire 3 days of the festival, and you come out of it battered and bruised and like bleeding out your ears, and it's like, that was amazing. And then you reach a point in life where you're like, oh, I think I might be a bit too old for this shit. And then you reach another point in your life where you're like, no, I'm absolutely not. I can still definitely get in about it, and I want to get in about it. And I remember spending a long time in my life thinking that I needed to be backstage with all the cool people, and I needed to be up watching the gig side of stage and up there watching everything. And I worked my arse off in the music industry for a few years, and I got there. And then when I got there, something was missing, and I was like,
boring.
"What am I missing?" And what I was missing was
honest,
being in about it.
Yeah,
and the second I got back into those pits and started just jumping about and being an actual music fan, I was like, God, yeah, this
I love
is
your
where
360 footage on this as
Oh,
well.
it was beautiful.
These are great, some of these you've done.
So the reason I started doing all those 360 vids was it all stemmed from last year. I'd done one when I'd taken my lad to Leeds Fest. I'd been reading this book in the run-up to it, and it was quite interesting. It was called The Intentional Father, and there was this chapter in it that really stuck with me. A lot of the stuff in it, I didn't really get on board with it because it was quite heavily religious, but there was this one chapter in it that was talking about, like, how a lot of young men end up kind of aimlessly wandering through life at a certain point, and they don't get an opportunity to really grow up until growing up slaps them in the face, and they're shocked because oh God, I wasn't prepared for this. And part of that, in this author's opinion, kind of stemmed back from the fact that we don't really have any rituals anymore in which you take a young person and you welcome them into that transition into adult life. And I will openly, and I'll openly admit that I spent a very long portion of my life wandering aimlessly through life, and learned a lot of lessons the hard way. And this part really stuck with me, and I spent a lot of time thinking about how I could do this for my own son, because he was at the time when we jumped in, he was only 14, turning 15, and I was like, I need to do it now, because if I don't do something now, I'm going to miss this opportunity, and I don't want him wandering through life. We have a strong, close connection and a great relationship, but I wanted to give him this moment, and I tried to think about how I could make this unique to us, and something that meant a lot to me, and I thought, I'm going to chuck him in a pit. I'm going to jump into a pit with him.
That's a rite of passage.
And I'm going to I'm not going to tell him what's happening. I let him know a few weeks in advance, what about this whole rite of passage. There's welcoming into manhood and everything. And it piqued his interest, and he was kind of I'm a bit scared, but I'm kind of excited at the same time. And already when we got to the festival, he could see he was like, can we go a bit further in? And I'm like, yeah, sure, just give it a bit. We'll wait for the right moment, because I was waiting for Limp Bizkit. I was like, he's going to love this. So I took him in, and we got right in about it. And I explained to him when we got there, and I was like, right, okay, tie your shoelaces tight, prepare yourself, get ready. If you go down, someone will pick you up. If you get hurt, let someone know. They'll crowd stuff. I took him through all the rules. Zip pockets.
Always.
Zip pockets are a godsend. So I took him through all the stuff and everything, and I could see him, he was, still kind of nervous, but getting more and more excited. And 30 seconds into Limp Bizkit coming up on stage, I lost him. and he was just out in the thick of it. And I had to, and it was weird because I went through this instant transition of just like, oh shit, I never thought about the fact that yes, I'm doing this rite of passage for him, but there's a lot of it for me as well, and I have to like trust he's going to be safe, he's going to be okay, he's in this good environment, leave him to it, go past. And I lost him. And it wasn't until about 10 minutes later, I saw him running past me. I was backing up a circle pit, and he ran past me, swirling his shirt round of his head, going, open it the fuck up! And I'm like, you'll do fine, lad. You'll do fine. So having that moment, and I filmed part of it. I did this 360 video, and I explained in the video like why I was doing it. And again, it landed with a lot of people. It really connected with a lot of folk, and it went viral as shit, that video. There was like 7 or 8 million views on it. I did not expect, like Fred Durst commented on it the next day. I'm like, what is going on? This is mental. Brilliant. But yeah, I wanted to take some of that. I think a lot of people that have never done a mosh pit before don't really understand it. They just see violence and chaos. They think that it's just a bunch of angry people.
I think the moment you come out of the first mosh pit, you realise why they exist. Until that moment, though, so a lot of panic. Probably the exact same thing it means for tattoos as well. Like, why would you get one of them? The moment you get one, you understand why everyone else has got one. I think it's that it is a rite of passage. I mean, we take our little and he's only 3, or he's nearly 3. So the last 2 years, we took him to Slam Dunk each year. Yeah. And each time he's wanted me to go. No, I didn't throw him in pit. Jesus.
They do start little kid pits. I've seen them. Yeah, they're men.
But I think it's amazing to be around that, to expose people to stuff like that. That's in a community thing again. It's showing it, and you're not going to get a fear of it. 100%. It's a great thing. That.
Yeah. Exposing them to the alternative culture early on, and just like letting them know that this is an option. This is a way of life. You can do this, and the community of people that are there.
Oh God,
they're great and supportive. And
when we sound check, my little one, we put his little ear defenders on. Loves it. Moment. It's amazing. He loves it. Yeah.
Right, last bit. We've got a final segment. We have the wheel, which it's full of wonderful stories. We're in the Drop of Ink, the tattoo shop. We tattoo all sorts of weird and wonderful and mental people who tell us all sorts of mental stories. So if you spin that...
Well, I very much love your mental stories. You know what? When you called up and you were like, what do you want to get for a tattoo? I was like very tempted to say, can I get David in Old English on the pink bits? Just in honour of that particular one. But I thought better off it.
Trend. I've got it.
Right, okay, let's
give it a spin. We'll see what we've got.
What we got on that? Machu Picchu.
I don't know this one.
You don't know this one. So this is one of my clients. So first time I ever met him, he comes in and slams a 6-pack of Monster on the desk.
Good start. Strong start.
Strong start.
It's a strong client.
Like, he's like out of breath, cracks one open, downs like half of it, and then proceeds to like speak. And I'm like, Jesus, but you're all right. After tapping this guy for a few times, I realised there's something weird about him. He consumes, or did consume at some point, 18 cans of Monster a day, and has a crippling caffeine addiction.
Fucking Jesus Christ!
18. You're not even awake 18.
Is that a crate?
Hours. That's like
it's a crate and a bit.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, how the fuck are you still alive?
Is he diabetic?
Fuck knows. He just
your blood like syrup.
Yeah. So I'm like
post mix.
Premium goth juice consumption right there. So I'm tattooing this kid. He called in here. We're dropping some deposits off, and he called in at one time. He dropped a deposit off, and he says, "How far is it from the?" He booked in for like 6 hours. How far is it from the bed to the floor? I've never been asked that before. So I was like, "Why do you want to know that?" He says, "Well, 6 hours is a long time for me to go without some Monster, so I'm gonna get a straw."
Wow.
I'm like,
so we needed to know the length.
Big fucking curly straw.
Oh my God.
Like,
that is an addiction.
I know, like, Mark could just give you a table and you could just put as many cans of Monster as you can fit on it and just drink from that. And that's all he could think about, were like this can of Monster on the floor with a straw to it.
Set him up an IV drip next time.
Yeah, needed it. He fucking needed it. So yeah. Anyway, I'm tattooing him. He says, we got on, for some reason, he says, it's my lifelong dream, Mason, to climb up to Machu Picchu.
Nice.
I'm like, all right. He does not look in the best of health. I'll be honest.
How many cans does that take to get up the...
And I was like, okay, mate. I says, and I do a bit of hiking myself, so I says, that's a 7-day trek, innit, mate? Yeah. Looked into it. He says, yeah, I figured it out. It's going to cost me, accommodation, flights, guide. It's going to cost me seven grand. I figured it all out. I went to doctors because you've got to get jabs for South America. They've got all my information, obviously, at the doctors. My caffeine consumption, my heart's too small because I drink so much fucking Monster. And doctors have said, you're going where? You're doing what? And he explained, and they were like fuck you are. And they were like, you will die. If you try walk up to Machu Picchu, you will die. And I was like, I said, have you ever been up a mountain before? He says, I walk everywhere, mate. And I was like, just because you walk, but you've ever been up a mountain? He went, oh no. I'm like, well, what makes you think you're going to get up a 7-day trek? Says, how many cans of Monster are you going to take in your bag? He's like, as many as I'll fit.
Walking up Machu Picchu is one thing. Walking up Machu Picchu with 100 cans of Monster on your back.
Just imagine this big backpack full of cans of Monster.
I love the fact you've never even been up like Mam Tor or anything, but just gone, I'm going, go hard or go home.
Yeah, like, you've been up to Dales? No. I walk everywhere, though. Just like, fucking hell. Yeah, I think over time I've been tattooing him. I've seen he's tried to wean off onto other things. He came in with a Capri Sun once. That didn't last long. It was straight back. So one time he come in, he were on Relentless, which I'd argue that's fucking hell.
He's moving on to the harder stuff.
Yeah,
now.
He's onto the harder substances there. Yeah. No idea if he's still alive. Please come and finish your back piece.
That were good, that.
I said to him, if you...
That weren't cancelable either. That was an okay one.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got that one rather than maybe porno.
Have we got time for one more?
To be honest, yeah.
Can I tell you, because before we did this podcast, we were talking, our missus do similar jobs.
They do,
Can I tell you the death of the year?
Yeah, right, okay, wait a minute.
It's a... There it is.
The death
there we go.
Yeah.
So, just for the audience, my missus is a mortician embalmer, and she wanted to be on this, but I think because you've got to be PC with who you're working with, it's better that I change these names or change the stories. But a lot of stories are legit on that wheel, so we'll keep it at that. This story is the best death, in my opinion, of last year that she dealt with anyway. So this is last year. It was snowing really heavy.
Yeah.
There's 2 ladies, and they haven't got any family, and one rings the other to go around and pick her up for bingo. So, as it's snowing, the old lady comes out of her house and starts shoveling a drive. This is true as well, I'm not talking shit. Starts moving a drive so that a friend can pick her up. Slips and falls on the drive. She's not dead. And then... gets snowed on top. A mate comes around to pick her up and sees a mound of snow on the drive and drives over her mate's head.
Oh my God.
And so there's a kicker to this story is that there's only one person that went to that funeral. And when my missus went round to obviously pick the body up, she gets in... gets in meat wagon, goes to pick the body up or whatever. Then there's photos all over the house, but it's just of these 2 people. So she didn't get charged.
Just a mate, just
accidental death.
Of course, yeah. But that was the woman who did the...
Now, I don't know whether this is true or not, but the adjustment to the story that I have heard is that when she got out, she didn't understand why the snow were red.
Oh, God.
There we go.
Snow's...
That's the death of the year.
Snow's quite crunchy when you drive over it as well, but so are...
I think it's fantastic because I'd love that to happen because then it'd ruin you. If you drove over me as a best mate, I've ruined you forever. Like, you'd be like, oh no, I can't have again.
You never get behind.
What a way to go, though. It's like I always think, so my missus works in end of life care as well, and I hear a lot of stories from her as well. And all I think to myself is when I go, I hope it's got a story.
I
hope
I hope
it's
some
got.
divvies tell it on a podcast.
Exactly.
On that wonderful note, we need to wrap up. What are we doing? We got anything we want to plug? Before we get to Christian, we are playing.
We're in a band.
We're in a band. I don't know if you know this. We're in a band. It's called Downturn, as well as the podcast.
They're all right. Yeah.
We've got Cancer Bats next week.
Yeah, we're playing with Cancer Bats, and then I think 3 or 4 weeks after that, we have his first single off the album coming out as well.
Album's rolling out. First single's going to be dropped on 14th of August. Hopefully, someone will play it on BBC Introducing.
We're going to slide him some money after this.
Hopefully, someone picks it up. Wink, wink. But yeah, Cancer Bats Parish. That is on the, what is it, the 29th? It's next. I'll put the date. I'll put
26,
the date
Janko.
in the description. No one knows. At some point next week.
Sometime, come and see us play with Cancer Bats.
This might even come out after we've already played.
It will.
We'll see.
It will. In fact, ignore anything he said. It's over.
The gig. The gig was amazing. The gig was amazing. Everyone was there. Christian was there in the pit.
We had a great time.
Best gig I've ever been to. It was absolutely incredible.
The best thing you've ever seen. Anyway, 25th. Yeah, we'll bang that in anyway. Christian, anything you want to plug?
I'm good, gents. I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on. I'm very much looking forward to hearing the album. I'm loving what you guys are doing, loving the sound. It's always great to hear some heavy music on BBC Introducing, so keep it coming.
Well sat as well. Well sat.
Well sat for your tattoo. Tough guy.
Good man.
Yeah,
thanks
very much for coming and indulging us. Hope to have you again at some point.
Always a pleasure. Anytime.
Anything else?
Done.
Stay clenched. Enjoy the weather. Goodbye. We'll do that thing where they pretend to talk after like.
Oh, so it's like news reporters.
Yeah, where like the lights go dim and it zooms out. Yeah.